No cameras, no stage lights, no script. Wang Yibo hung between life and gravity on a vertical wall in Yosemite. 3 days, one mistake away from disaster. And when he reached the top, he said something that left the world silent. There are moments when fame fades into the background. Moments when a name stops being a headline and becomes just a human being, breathing hard, fingers trembling, heart racing against silence. This was one of those moments. Far away from red carpets and award shows, Wang Yibo stood before Liberty Cap in Yosemite National Park. A massive granite wall, rising like a silent judge. Cold, unforgiving, beautiful in a way that scares even seasoned climbers. Liberty Cap is not a metaphor. It is real, vertical, relentless. At over 5,000 meters, with a free climbing route rated 5.11b. This climb is known as a mental battlefield. No shortcuts, no illusions. Every move must be earned. Every decision carries weight. And Wang Yibo chose to climb it, not as a stunt, not as content, but as a personal challenge that demanded everything he had. For 3 days, his world shrank to stone, rope, and breath. Sunrises came without comfort. Nights arrived without warmth. Pain became constant. Fear became familiar. And yet, he kept going, because this was not about proving something to the world. This was about facing himself where excuses do not exist. And as word of this climb slowly reached the outside world, people began to realize this was not the Wang Yibo they thought they knew. This was something deeper. Climbing Liberty Cap is not a solo dream. It is a calculated risk shared only with those you trust your life to. Beside Wang Yibo were Jimmy Chin and Ryder Stroud, elite professional climbers, names that carry respect in the world of extreme mountaineering. Men who understand the cost of every vertical meter. They did not slow the mountain down for him. The mountain does not care who you are. Every hold tested his grip strength. Every pitch drained his stamina. Every mistake whispered consequences. Free climbing means no mechanical assistance. No pulling yourself up with devices. Only your body and your technique. When muscles scream and fingers bleed, stopping is not always an option. For 3 days, Wang Yibo endured exposure to height, exhaustion, and fear. Hanging suspended above the valley, the wind cutting through layers of clothing, sleep reduced to survival. And yet, there were no dramatic statements. No heroic poses, just quiet persistence. Those who know him were not surprised, because this is not new. Motorsports, dance, acting, extreme sports. Wang Yibo has always gravitated toward edges, places where comfort disappears and discipline becomes everything. Liberty Cap simply demanded the highest price so far, and he paid in full. When Wang Yibo finally reached the summit, the mountain did not celebrate him. There was no sound, no signal, no proof of victory except the thin air filling his lungs. Up there, above the granite wall that had tested every nerve in his body, time seemed to slow. The valley lay far below, distant and unreal, as if the world he came from belonged to someone else. Later, when people asked about the pain, the torn skin, the aching muscles, the fear that never fully leaves during a climb like this, Wang Yibo answered with a sentence that felt almost unsettling in its calm. The pain disappeared when I reached the top, not because it was never there, but because it had already done its job. That single line traveled fast, across languages, across fandoms, across borders. Fans replayed it again and again, trying to understand what kind of pain could simply vanish and what kind of resolve replaces it. This was not a victory cry. It was a quiet realization. For many, especially those who have watched Wang Yibo grow under relentless public scrutiny, that sentence felt deeply personal, because it sounded like someone who had carried pressure for a long time and learned how to walk with it. International media framed it as an extreme sports achievement. Fans felt it as something more intimate. In those images from the climb, his body pressed against stone, his figure small against an endless wall, there was no performance, no persona, only persistence. And that honesty struck harder than any dramatic speech ever could. Wang Yibo has always existed slightly outside the frame people try to place him in. Too focused to be careless. Too restrained to be loud. Too committed to be superficial. Liberty Cap did not transform him. It exposed the core he has always guarded quietly. In the entertainment industry, success often demands constant visibility, constant proof of relevance. But this climb demanded the opposite. Silence, patience, endurance, the ability to keep going when no one is watching. On that wall, his fame meant nothing. The mountain did not recognize awards. It did not care about followers or headlines. It responded only to preparation, discipline, and respect. And that is where Wang Yibo thrives. This was not an escape from his career. It was a reflection of it. The same precision he brings to dance. The same control he shows on the racetrack. The same emotional restraint he delivers on screen. Liberty Cap simply removed the safety net. For fans, especially women who have followed his journey through pressure, misunderstanding, and impossible expectations, this moment carried a different weight. It wasn't about admiration from a distance. It was about recognition. Because many understand what it means to keep climbing quietly while the world demands perfection below. In that sense, this climb became a shared language, one spoken without words. When Wang Yibo came down from Liberty Cap, there were no signs announcing that something extraordinary had happened. He did not dramatize it. He did not frame it as a triumph. Life resumed. Work continued. Headlines moved on. But something remained, subtle, enduring. This climb was not about conquering nature. It was about negotiating with fear, about listening to pain without letting it decide the outcome, about choosing difficulty when ease was available. And that choice lingered. For those who watch from afar, this was more than an impressive feat. It was a reminder that strength does not always announce itself. Sometimes it reveals itself slowly, through consistency, through restraint, through silence. Wang Yibo did not climb Liberty Cap to be seen. Yet he was seen more clearly than ever, not as an untouchable idol, but as someone willing to stand at the edge, accept vulnerability, and keep moving upward anyway. And perhaps that is why this story stays with people. Because somewhere between the stone wall and the open sky, it stopped being about a mountain and became about the courage to keep climbing, even when no applause waits at the top. Some achievements echo loudly. Others settle quietly in the heart. This one did the latter.